Hi, I'm going to show some examples of the tree diagrams because I still had some questions on what to do for those assignments. So I'm going to start with the big ideas assignment. So that's 10.5. Okay. The big ideas assignment has this picture first of a spinner with the 1, 2, 3, 4 sections labeled, and then is talking about a coin where either side heads or tails. Okay. So my suggestion for doing this assignment is doing tree diagrams. So on our tree diagram, we list out all the possibilities of the first event or the first thing that happens. Okay, so I have 4 sections on my spinner. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Got a little squish there at the bottom, but 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I could spin a 1, or I could spin a 2, or I could spin a 3, or I could spin a 4. Whatever I do, so say I spun a 1, now I flip a coin. So my 2 options on a coin are heads or tails. So I'm going to do a branch, because it's a tree diagram, from 1 saying heads and tails like that. Now I can list my outcomes by saying 1 H or 1 tails. Okay, so I've got 2 outcomes right now. Now, what if I spun a 2 instead of a 1? So the 2 is there. I spun a 2. Now I flip a coin. I could get heads or tails. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. Heads, tails. Just like that. What if I spun a 3? Same exact thing for same exact thing. So heads, tails, tails. So 2 heads, 2 tails, 3 heads, 3 tails, 4 heads, 4 tails. So I'm going to count all of my outcomes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 total things that can happen. So that's always going to be my denominator. Okay, I have 8 outcomes. That's always my denominator. So in all of these probability questions, I'm going to have out of 8. And I now just have to figure out the numerator or the top number of that fraction. So the first one was the probability of getting heads and a 3 together. So I look at my outcomes and I go, right there, ding, 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 ding. That's 1 time. It only happens once. So my probability is 1 out of 8. Okay. I'm going to skip down to the last one, the probability of not a 2 and getting a heads. So I look up here, how many times do I not have a 2? So I don't have a 2 and a heads together. So let's see. I don't have a 2 here, and that's also a heads. I don't have a 2, but I have a tails, and that's not what I want. Here I have a 2, here I have a 2. We don't count those. Where's that? Here I have a 3, which isn't a 2, and a heads. So I go there. And then 3, which is not a 2, but it has a tails, and I want the heads on there. And then 4 and a heads. Okay, so that has a heads, and it's not 2. And 4 and a tails, again, not a 2, but it has a tails, and I don't want that. So I count 1, 2, 3. So this one is 3 out of 8. Okay, and I will leave the other 2 for you to do. So you can pause the video right here. Okay, and then at least you can see what the outcomes are and how I did the tree diagram. Okay, and then you just need to figure out an even number. So think which numbers are even, and a tails. So which numbers over here are even numbers and they have a t next to them. And then this one, the probability greater than 1 and a tails. So I'm looking for numbers that are all bigger than 1, 2, 3, and 4, and have a tails with them. So I'm looking for 2 and a tails, 3 and a tails, 4 and a tails. Okay, now for the problem, the very end with the gold earrings. That's called a dependent probability, which means they don't depend on one another in order to find our answer. So I have in a bowl or whatever it is, gold earrings and silver earrings. I have 2 gold earrings and 2 silver earrings. So when I make my tree diagram, I make it like this because I need to count every single gold earring and every single silver earring. So 2 golds, 2 silvers. Now what they say is that once you pick that earring, you're not going to pick that same earring again. It's going to be set out on the side. So when you pick the gold earring first, you could pick the first silver earring, the second silver earring, or the second gold earring. So what that looks like in our tree is this. I could pick the first gold earring. So maybe I'll even put a G1, a G2, S1, S2 there. So the first gold earring, and then I can pick the second gold earring or either of the 2 silver ones. And then I'm going to do that same thing with the second gold earring. So I could pick the first silver earring again, the second silver earring, or if I picked the second gold earring, I could pick the first gold earring again, or only. So I have 3 options there. I had 3 options there. And I think you could probably tell what's going to happen over here. So if I pick the first silver earring, I could pick the first gold earring, the second gold earring, or the second silver earring. And then for the second silver earring, so I start all over, everything goes back in the box or the bowl. I can pick the first gold earring, the second gold earring, or the first silver earring. So try to put that all in my camera. There we go. So these are all of our outcomes. So I could list all of my outcomes over here and then I could count them. So I could say gold, silver, gold, silver, gold, gold. Gold, silver, gold, silver, gold, gold. Silver, gold, silver, gold, silver, 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 gold, silver, gold, silver, silver. Okay, so those are me listing all of my outcomes. So now I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I have 12 outcomes, which is going to be my denominator. And they ask us, what's the probability, that's what P stands for, probability of getting 2 silver earrings. So I look at all of my outcomes, so all of these listed here, I look at those outcomes and I say, where do I see silver and a silver together? So I see silver and a silver here and silver and a silver here. So that is 2 out of 12 outcomes. But as some of you can see, we can simplify 2 over 12, divide both by 2. So we have the probability of getting both silver earrings of being 1 out of 6. Okay?